I had spent a second sleepless night, and the following day at work, I really felt it. I couldn't write at all, and what little I did try was forced. Usually, I can't sleep in the day, but I was exhausted. I closed my eyes for a few minutes, and that's when the dream must have come.
You're not going to say anything? You haven't said a thing, and your hour is almost up. I don't believe you have nothing to say. I think it's because you're angry. Too choked with rage to speak. What is it that enrages you?
Life.
Life?
The universe. The cruelty, the injustice. The suffering of humanity. Illness, aging, death.
All very abstract. Humanity. Don't worry about humanity all the time. Get your own life in order. We'll continue this tomorrow. What would you say she was suffering from?
Self-deception.
Good. It's a little general.
But I don't think she can part with her lies.
No? Too bad.
Not that she doesn't want to.
It's precisely that she doesn't want to. When she wants to, she will.
It's all happening so fast.
I have to hurry. I'm trying to prevent her from killing herself.
You don't think she would?
She's already begun.
She has?
Oh, not very dramatically. That's not her style. She's doing it slowly and methodically, and has been since she was very young. Now, if you'll pardon me, I have another patient.
Now that my life is drawing to a close, I have only regrets. Regrets that the woman I shared my life with is not the one I loved the most deeply. Regrets that there is no love between my son and myself. That is my fault. Regrets that perhaps I've been too severe with my daughter, too demanding, that I haven't given her enough feeling. But I was so unhappy myself, so caught up in those stupid studies of historical figures. Even though I've achieved some eminence in my field, I asked too little of myself.
Suddenly, the dream shifted, and I found myself on a street that was familiar. It seemed to be where I had run into Claire in front of the theater. What's going on?
Come on in. It's okay.
Would you like to observe the rehearsal? Claire's such a good actress. She plays innumerable roles.
Would you ever think of making love to me on the living room floor?
Would you want me to?
I don't know. Would you want to?
Well, somehow I've never seen you as a hardwood floor type.
No. That's a pretty insulting thing to say. I think it's you that's the type not to make love anywhere but in the bedroom with all the lights out.
Well, now who's being insulting?
I suppose that you're going to take off all of your clothes now and go to bed.
Well, it's 1 a.m.
Look, let's just try being honest with one another. There's not much passion left in this marriage anymore, is there?
Is there not? I haven't noticed.
Oh, don't be so aloof. I'm trying to tell you something. It's not erotic anymore.
Well, was it ever?
Was it not?
Marion, I'm tired.
We rarely sleep together anymore. And when we do, it's by the book. It's the same routine. I know exactly what you're going to do and in what order.
Yeah, it's true. We are both creatures of routine. Now, could we go to sleep? It's late. And could you please try not to toss and talk in your sleep? Last night you kept saying Larry. I assume you're having some kind of dream about Larry Lewis?
At the mention of Larry Lewis's name, I experienced odd feelings of melancholy and longing. I wanted to weep in the dream, but the tears wouldn't come. Are you married?
Yes. You knew I got married.
Oh, yes. Yes, I had heard that.
Larry wants us to move back to New York, but we've had such a nice time in Santa Fe.
Are you happy?
I'm happy.
Don't I leave you too? I'm sure you have a lot to talk about.
I see your byline now and then in magazines.
Did you read my novel?
I have it, but I am embarrassed to say I haven't read it yet.
You inspired one of the characters.
Oh? I hope you weren't too rough on me.
I wrote of you with great love.
Your wife is lovely.
Yes, I met her right after you said goodbye to me. Her name is Jennifer. She's also quite a good writer.
Do you have any children?
Yes. We have a daughter. It's been the greatest, most beautiful experience of my life.
Do you ever think of me?
Do you ever think of me?
Once in a while.
I hope you're happy with Ken. I ran into him on the street not too long ago. He must have told you.
I think of you more than once in a while.
But without regret, please. Don't tell me you have any regret.
Darling, you must come in here for a moment. I want to show you a beautiful sunset.
Which character in your novel did I inspire?
Helenka. I gave you a beautiful name, Helenka. I described our times together. You recognize it. But I have to go now. My wife needs me.
Marion, please, don't cry. Although I am glad to hear our little scene is moving.
I'd like to go home.
And you will. I just thought you might like to see our second act finale. Your first husband's suicide scene. It's touching.
Sam was not a suicide.
How do you know? It was 15 years after you divorced.
He died in his sleep from mixing pills and alcohol. I was at his funeral.
Well, you know, that's always a gray area. Alone in a hotel room, depressed.
Sam was a wonderful man. We had such lovely times together. You taught me so much.
You were a wonderful pupil. Certainly the most interesting one in my class. Still, the age difference. I shouldn't have seduced you. Intellectually, that is. I should have resisted that temptation. I shouldn't have made you adore me, but you were such a dazzling pupil, the temptation was too great. And so I paid the price.
We both paid the price.
Inevitably, there comes a time when the pupil absorbs all that he or she can. And then what seemed like the constant, joyous imparting of knowledge and opinions becomes suffocation. Ironically, that's what they wrote on my death certificate. Suffocation.
Oh, Sam.
Wait, there's another important scene between you and Sam.
No. No more.